Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We welcome all Rotarians, guests, and visitors. Today is April 5th. At this time, we have guests and visiting Rotarians. Just a reminder that if you are on Zoom, please go ahead and identify yourself in the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. Pete Enwall, I see you waiting in the wing.
I know most people are familiar with the Serenity Prayer that St. Francis made famous, and so I want you to know the Vatican has come up with a new prayer for seniors, and so it's called the Senility Prayer. Lord, grant me the senility to forget the people I never liked anyway, the good fortune to run into the ones I do like, and the eyesight to tell the difference. We join me in singing God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, Ian Fletcher, if you would please be so kind.
Now, I happen to think that we have to do a little better with Pete, because that was good. Come on. Let us pray. We beseech thee, our Heavenly Father, to bestow thy grace upon this meeting. As we enjoy our fellowship one with another, let us not forget the men and women who die for our country while serving our country. Let's not forget the friends and families that died during this pandemic. May you grant us relief, Lord, and let us find our way through these times. We understand that there are many in this world that are suffering. We understand that there are many in this world that are in need. And we thank you for giving us the opportunity as a club to help so many nonprofits, the opportunity to help with so many projects, the opportunity to help bless others that are in need. We thank you now for your help in everything we do. We thank you for your presence, and we thank you for your guidance. And we say thank you again. Amen.
All right, at this time, we would like to go ahead and introduce guests or visiting Rotarians. If you would go ahead and stand and introduce your guest. I think Scott Schroeder has someone with him. Anyone else? Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I have a guest today, Christine Caven with PS 27 Ventures.
Welcome, Christine.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. I am pleased to introduce my guest, John Eastman. John is the CEO over at Accent Physician Specialists. John is here. Actually, he's the product of a national search that the docs at Accent did about 3-4 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. I've been trying to get him to come to a meeting since then, but I've enjoyed getting to know John professionally and personally a bit. So please welcome John.
Welcome, John. Okay, I think we've got one more in the back.
Hi, Rotarians. I'm Richard Allen, and my guest today is Cornelia Holbrook. She is the proprietor of the Sweetwater Branch Inn and in historic preservation here in Gainesville.
Welcome. We're so glad to have you. Okay, at this time, we are actually going to recognize Rotarians who have birthdays in April. So our tradition is to bring up a dollar, if you will, and I'm going to go ahead and announce the following birthdays: Billy Adkins, Linda Reinhart, Mary Kate Walker, Charlie Palmer, Jeff Montgomery, George Sims, Jeff Sims, Marie Collins, Greg Young, Jenna Ostis, Buddy Irby, Jean Ryan, and Judy Erickson. So a warm Rotary happy birthday to everyone. Pete, we need you again. Sorry.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, fellow Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Great,
The boys will applause.
All right, appreciate that. Okay, well, actually today we do not have, I believe we do have an announcement. Okay, come on up. Come on, Nancy.
Hi, everybody. This Saturday is the day we're going to take lunch to the Women Builders. And I have more information on that. The house is on Northeast 24th Street. It's a beautiful neighborhood. The house is next to a park. And we don't have to be there till about 11:15, and we can just drop the food and go, or we can stay and look at the house and actually give honor to the women builders who are building it. So if anybody would like to join me in doing this, if you would just let me know, you can text me, grab me here, send me an email, and I have a menu all planned. It's all ready to go. All you have to do is show up.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, at this time, without further ado, I'm going to turn our program over to President David Gracie.
Thank you, Melanie, for that introduction and for getting our luncheon started today. Thank you, Ian, for that beautiful invocation. Pete, thank you. And Gordon, thank you for the songs and pledge. I want to begin just by letting you know I had several rather personal interactions with club members, and I'll kind of describe some of these for you because I think they're relevant for you guys to hear about this. The first one is Dalton Birch, kind of an update on how Dalton's doing. Just coincidentally, I happened to see him over at North Florida Regional, and Helen Gilstrom was there also. So we got to chat with Dalton a good bit, and Dalton had a couple of procedures performed on his lumbar vertebrae, and very successful. He's now got a call from John Haswell just a little while ago this morning, and Dalton is recovering over at Oak Hammock. He's in room 1708. But the reason I want to be sure I mentioned Dalton today is that he expressed to me, with Helen, who may be joining us on Zoom as my witness, Dalton said, David, please be sure to let the club know that I continue to pray for you all and that you continue to persevere with your wonderful work that you do for our community. So I thought that was pretty neat that he said that. So I just ask that you all continue to remember Dalton and his wife, Ann Gay, his daughter, Megan, also his caretaker. Remember them in your prayers because he certainly remembers us, and I think he's doing a lot better. Next, a little bit on a lighter note, I got an email from Tim O'Donnell. You guys might remember Tim. He was my guest here a few weeks ago. He's on the district share committee, kind of involved with grants, helping grants get approved. I got an email from Tim on this grant that I had mentioned to you guys a week or two ago that I've been working on with TJ and Jenny, a really useful grant. We're working with Catholic Charities on this, but I'll spare you the details of the grant. But Tim, this is at like 5 o'clock on a Friday. This is kind of my wife's and my traditional happy hour when we relax and just kind of enjoy a little downtime. Cecil's usually doing something else. So get this email and I'm like, man, it says, David, your grant requires this, and this. That needs to be completed by midnight tonight, or essentially the whole thing's a wash. So I'm like, I thought we had gotten this thing finished. So I quickly, like a reflex, I text Jenny and TJ, and man, the two of them were on it. I've continued communicating with them throughout the evening, but we got it done. And so we've got this nice project with Catholic Charities will come to fruition thanks to really to TJ and to Jenny. So that's some applause should go there. It is just, it's so nice having members like that I've been able to rely on all year. There's so many of you, everyone in this room. It makes this job so rewarding and fun. The other thing I want to tell you, this is also on a lighter note, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. We didn't have many announcements today, so I've got a little bit of time, I think, Melanie, right? Eric, Mike, okay. The Sustainable Cambodia auction, our international auction that we had, I guess, November, December. One of the items was a generous offering by Bobby Hall, where she would entertain 6 guests at her home, her cottage home, beautiful little home, and would provide wonderful seafood and, different courses this meal and pair them with exquisite wines. Well, she followed through on Saturday night for myself and Eric Godet and Melanie Shore and each of our spouses. We had just a wonderful time. So, again, this is, these kind of unique ways that we're able to be generous and to donate to the club. Bobby did something really neat there, and she's been thanked profusely by the 3 of us and our spouses, but I still want to acknowledge that that's pretty neat. Bobby's been attending on Zoom a lot too, so I wanted to mention her because we don't see her a lot at our luncheons right now. Finally, I want to update you on our Ukrainian relief efforts. We've got a lot happening there. We've actually raised, the district has raised over $20,000, has been actually collected into the York Foundation, and that money has already been sent to Warsaw, Poland, and it's being applied with our Rotary partners over there. So it's, we've got really good stewardship of these funds, which makes this really cool. There's actually Rotarians there that are, confirming that this money is being applied the way we want it to. But, I mentioned that because our club should be credited for a good bit of that. There are several folks in the room right now who just generously have written checks. The board approved, I don't remember the number, but a significant funding coming from our International Disaster Relief Fund that went directly to the York Foundation. And then also we've had the bracket challenge that has now finally come to a close. We raised a good bit of money there. I know a lot of you participated in that, and including myself didn't win, but we had fun. And I would like to announce the winner, that this bracket challenge that TJ engineered. And gosh, I believe the title is the 2022 Professor of Bracketology for the Rotary Clubs of Gainesville inaugural bracket, and that is Melanie Shore. And we clap and we recognize Melanie, but she participates in the 50-50 drawing every week and has won it maybe half the time. So she's going to get her to buy some lottery tickets for me later. Okay, finally, I just want to mention this, and I know President-elect Greg is kind of helping to make sure everyone's aware that we have our district assembly and conference coming up at the end of this month. It's going to be on Friday the 29th, Saturday the 30th. And rather than go through the litany of wonderful training events, discussions and presentations we have, I'll just tell you that it's going to be a full weekend of fun and fellowship and great training and just a good way to get to know Rotarians outside of our club and in the district, and just to kind of hear more about what Rotary does beyond just the Rotary Club of Gainesville. So it's at the Hyatt in downtown Jax. And the reason I want to be sure to mention this today is that the 7th, which that makes the 7th Thursday, is the deadline for you to register to receive that conference discount pricing. So I would encourage you to join myself. And I know there's several other folks that are already committed. So we're going to have a good time, and we're going to learn a lot and have some nice fellowship with other Rotarians that weekend. So take a look at that. If you're interested, you can shoot me an email. I'll try to get a link out maybe later today if I can find something that I could send just kind of succinctly to you. With that, I would like to invite our board member and the chair of our programs, Eric Godet, to introduce today's program.
Thank you, President David. Okay, we are in for a treat today. So I'm going to briefly go through and just share some information about our speakers, both of them today. The first is Mable Baker. She's the interim director at Santa Fe College and the Blount Center. She will be sharing expanding the vision of the Blount Hall at Santa Fe College, which I call the Blount campus. And we will also have Michael Walsh, who is our president, a fellow Rotarian, Parish McCall Constructors, Inc. And his focus will be the construction updates of the Santa Fe Blount campus. I'm changing their titles. So I will give first, Mable Baker is the interim director of the Blount campus at Santa Fe College. And as director, Ms. Baker is responsible for all operational aspects of the campus. A large part of her responsibility is to ensure access to educational opportunities for the East Gainesville community through the development of collaborative academic programming, targeted enrollment, growth strategies, and community outreach. In her previous role at Santa Fe, Ms. Baker coordinated the Carl D. Perkins Grant. That's a federal grant that supports the advancement of career and technical education workforce and workforce development initiatives. Ms. Baker is a lifelong resident of Gainesville. She is a graduate of Gainesville High School. Mable also earned a Bachelor of Science in Public Relations from the University of Florida. She got a Master's of Arts in Career and Technical Education from the University of South Florida and is currently a doctoral candidate in Higher Education Administration at the University of Florida. So most of us in here is great Rotarians. We know Mike. Mike also is a native Floridian from Rockledge, Florida, a 1986 UF grad, BS in Building Construction, 32 years at Parish McCall, formerly MM Parish Construction. He's been president since 2000. Mike has also been a Rotarian since 1992. He was past president in 06-07 and currently in the Gainesville Sunrise Club. Mike is also a former board member at the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce. He was chairman back in 2007. I remember that. He was president of Rotary, and then, yeah, I remember, boy, you're a glutton for pay. I remember that conversation. Former board member at Catholic Charities. He's a parishioner at Queen of Peace Catholic Community, and his wife, Tanya, a Shands nurse, and they have 5 kids from ages 15 to 28. Please give a round Rotary welcome to Michael Walsh to give us a construction update.
Good afternoon. It's great to be back here at the Gainesville Rotary Club and see so many old friends and familiar faces. And thank you, Eric, for the invitation today. When I heard that I'd be speaking at the Cade Museum, I was really excited. And Stephanie, I thought I was going to be in the big house under the rotunda, but this is a very nice substitute and delicious food and great fellowship as always. So I appreciate that. I'm going to give you just a brief overview of the construction of Blount Hall, which is the cornerstone of the newly imagined Blount campus in downtown. And it's a project all of us as Gainesvillians can be very proud of. And I'm just going to give you some highlights here real quick. Which one? Sorry. There we go. So here's a couple of exterior shots. And most people by now have driven by this facility or seen it going up. So you'll recognize what a striking facility it is. The project broke ground back in August of 2019, August 4th to be exact. And we had a live video of the beginning of demolition, but we couldn't find it. There's also some photographs from that day that would document I had hair at the beginning of the project. But here's some equipment from Shearer Construction, and they did all of the site work and utilities for us on the project. Great people at Shearer. They did us a great job. So Doug, thank you for that. A few fast facts about the project. Again, we broke ground in August of 20 and substantially completed the project in February. It's 87,000 square feet. It's certified LEED Silver, which is modern standards for sustainable construction, so we can appreciate that. Architects and engineers there, you see Harvard Jolly, architects from St. Petersburg, affiliated engineers from Gainesville, Miller Engineering in Jacksonville, Jay Brown at JB Pro Group, the civil engineer, and Elizabeth Manley, the landscape designer. Just a few factoids about the project. The one I'm most proud of, over 243,000 man hours went into the construction of this project, and every single one of them safely with 0 accidents. And we're very proud of that fact. Over 3,000 cubic yards of concrete, almost 400 tons of structural steel, over 83,000 bricks, over 2,700 pieces of precast concrete, 252 doors, just about every single one of them 10 feet tall, so those don't grow on trees. 38,000 square feet of glass and aluminum curtain wall, almost 6,500 sheets of drywall. This is one of my favorite here, 281,000 linear feet of that blue Cat 6 cable. And if you're doing a little math in your head right now, that's 53 miles. And 96 audio-visual screens throughout the facility. So it's going to be really cutting-edge technology for teaching and learning in today's date. completed north elevation there of the facility. Now I'll show you a few interior shots to close out. This is the ground floor main area, and throughout all these photographs, you'll see what an open and interactive type of spaces they have there, with first-class materials and finishes. This is the signature 3-story atrium that faces north as you walk in from the rear parking lot. Here's some more of that ground floor space, kind of looking to the west. Again, more interactive spaces. The fishbowl there in the back where the security officers reside. More open space, ground floor. This is one of the incubator spaces that Mabel will tell us a little bit more about, but you can see there's a flexibility here in having a cubicle to lease or a private office with all the necessary support infrastructure there for you. More of those 10-foot doors I spoke about. This is some of the office space. This is the main ground floor conference area that can be divided up into smaller classrooms. The Santa Fe trustees will have some of their board meetings there, but faces out onto University Avenue. Again, you see the audio visual screen there, the flat screens on the wall, totally wired up for technology. This is looking at the 3-story atrium from the second floor through the glass panels there. More collaborative space upstairs for students and staff to enjoy. Another kind of a typical classroom setup there. And then this is the 3rd floor balcony that faces the corner of 6th and University. Really, really nice space. If the development people invite you up there for a party or to watch a homecoming parade, beware. Again, this is facing east to the Siegel building. And this is the original architect's rendering on the left and the completed real life project on the right. Pretty amazing similarity there. And my favorite shot of all, an evening photo facing the front signature portion of the building. So great project. We really enjoyed it. And now it is my pleasure to turn the mic over to Mable Baker, who's going to tell you about all the amazing things that are going to happen for the students and the citizens of Gainesville in this new facility.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, my name is Mable Baker, and again, thank you for the invite. I am so pleased to be here to talk to you about, sorry. Thank you. I'm so pleased to be here to talk to you about the Blount Hall at Santa Fe College Blount Center. I got the charge about a month and a half ago that I was going to take over the Blount Hall and Blount Center, and well, I'll do what Eric says, Blount campus. And as you have seen, it is a beautiful space, but it is even more beautiful to actually walk in and work within this space. And so I think I'll get my presentation started here. So what we've done is expanded the vision at Santa Fe College. Just so happens yesterday, someone walked into my office and placed a huge box of old architectural plans of the old train depot. And there are lots of grants in there with just a thought of what the vision for the downtown center, Blount Center, would be. And it was to expand educational opportunities for the downtown area and its surrounding communities, especially for the east side of Gainesville. So as you've just heard, just as at a glance, we have over 87,000 square feet at the college, at Blount Hall, 24 state-of-the-art high-flex classrooms that allows us to be able to provide in-person classes along with remote. So if a student wants to either register for in-person or attend remotely, they have the option of doing that. Each classroom has that opportunity for students. There is collaborative work and meeting spaces, as you saw with the different meeting spaces and the classroom spaces that we have. Everything was well thought out as to how we would work together within that space. And you can see that through the pictures. We have our third floor terrace. I'll tell you, I have never seen it so many selfies happen as people get to the third floor terrace than any other time. But that is a true draw. We also have within Blount Hall, the Center for Innovation and Economic Development. And the Blount Hall also will house our academic hub for business and information technology education programs. So just to give you kind of a heads up that in the fall, our classes are scheduled to begin. Students will begin their fall semester in Blount Hall, those who are in the business and ITE programs. We have expectation of more than 50 faculty and staff will be moving into Blount Hall. We've already started with the first floor and with the seed. And each time folks move in, they are so happy to get in, so ready to work. It invites you to be collaborative. And as faculty and staff have had the opportunity to walk through the space ahead of time, they are so ready to get in along with their students. We have an estimated and combined program enrollment of about 1,800 students, and that should fill our campus beginning in the fall. More than 30 specialized certificate degree programs. So as you know, IT and business programs, to have those at the Blount Hall, that was intentional. We recognized the need for the top and in-demand, high-demand business sectors of business and ITE. And so bringing that to the downtown area, it fits within our regional needs. And so it falls right in with what the original plan was for the Blount Center, the Blount campus. And that is to provide academic and professional growth opportunities for the surrounding community. Just kind of a caption of the programs that a student would have access to now at Blount Hall. If you would know that at the Blount Center, it originally held programs that had general education programs for students. Students could go there for transfer track or for preparatory courses. You could take adult ed courses, but now we've expanded that vision. A student can walk into our doors on at the Blount Center and enter in an AA program, AS program, and leave with a bachelor's. That is new to us, and that is expanding our vision. The biggest part of the expansion for Blount Hall is the expansion of student services. We have a one-stop model now. We want to serve our students holistically. They can walk into our doors, into our academic or administrative suites, and have access to financial aid, to admissions, to academic advising, all in one place. You don't have to go to Northwest Campus. You can have that access right in our beautiful Blount Hall. And so we're excited about that. That is that single point of registration for students to be able to access all of their resources and all of their needs in one place. One of our biggest goals here is our Learning Commons. The Learning Commons is a resource to students that provides them help with tutoring, with academic success coaching, career exploration and planning. They can also have assessments in the Learning Commons. Anything for tutoring from language, for languages to writing and reading and math, all of that can now be done in our Learning Commons. So students, again, they get that holistic service that we were not able to provide in the format that we do now with Blount Hall. our Center for Innovation and Economic Development. The seed previously only had spaces for about 10 to maybe 15 incubating companies. We now have space for 34. And that provides them 24-hour access, enhanced corporate training, and the workspace, the collaborative workspace that is within that unit is second to none. If you remember the photos that Mike showed you earlier, we have spaces, collision spaces, so that seed and incubating companies can also can work with students, they can work with faculty. They have meeting spaces, at least 3 meeting spaces with state-of-the-art technology, all at their fingertips to be able to produce the successful businesses that they want and have at hand. So finally, I just want to say to you to join us on Friday. We have our grand opening, our ribbon cutting. We would look forward to having you here. I know Dr. Brody would definitely be upset if I didn't mention and welcome you to the Blount Hall. We're so happy about this opportunity and what it means for this area of Gainesville, what it means for our community. To be able to have access for even more students that we did before is beyond the type of opportunity that we could have ever hoped for. So going back to that box being put on my desk, I don't think that in the beginning, when people drive by, they could ever see or imagine the service that we can now offer our community. We are right in the center of everything here in Gainesville. And I am so excited about what the future holds. So again, thank you for inviting me here, and look forward to seeing you guys on Friday.
Can I get someone, Jason, you look pretty busy there, but, oh, okay, Matthew's got it. Okay, Mike and Mabel, if you don't mind entertaining some questions, we've got a few minutes here. Great.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Robert Mounts. I've written a bit about student housing issues in the city lately, and I wonder if you've had any discussions with the surrounding neighborhoods, Fifth Avenue, Pleasant Street, about how to accommodate the influx of students, particularly who want to live close to that campus.
Well, I haven't had that opportunity yet. I know that Dr. Brody has worked throughout the community to be able to meet all the needs of our students. As you know, the growth in that area is unprecedented right now. And so student housing is definitely on our agenda, and working with housing developments around to ensure that our students have the proper access to housing to be able to better. We want to build an environment for our students, and housing is one of those to provide that campus environment. The Northwest campus has its own feel, but the downtown area is more urban, and we definitely have that in our vision for expansion.
Thank you for coming. Many of the older citizens of Gainesville have observed that that you have formed a triangle with Innovation Square and the Cade Museum, and I'm wondering, to what extent do you plan on interfacing with those other two entrepreneurial enterprises to see what can be done for your students?
You know, we work hand in hand. It is a partnership. We are not isolated by any means with the growth that we are currently in. We currently have partnerships with UF where we're meeting, we're talking about automation and innovation and AI. We're doing all those different, having all those different meetings. And so, again, I just want to point out, we're not isolated. We definitely have these partnerships at hand. And so I hope I answered that for you.
Yes, again, thank you, both of you, for this informational and exciting presentation about what's going on in our downtown area. I'm an educator, and so this is one of my hats. And so this is a very exciting development, because I do think that access and being able to get to the place in time while you're working and so on and so forth, and just having a different environment is often helpful. My question, however, is, I think it said that you're anticipating 18,000 students.
No.
1,800.
No.
Okay,
1,800.
I'm sorry. Have to get my eyes checked. Do you anticipate that you will immediately have 1,800, or what is the time frame that you anticipate having that number of students enrolled?
We have to remember, for us, we count within that enrollment our online students as well. So we have a healthy group of online students. You know, as our learning modalities have changed, we now have a healthy segment of students who enjoy online learning. And so that's what is so wonderful about the classrooms, those state-of-the-art high-flex classrooms. We can still provide that experience, whether they want to come in and be in person, face-to-face, or whether they want to do their learning at home. So within that 1,800, we also have to put that into perspective. We have bachelor's programs that are online for some of our programs. We have health information technology. Those are online. So those students are within that enrollment number, and this is their home base. So anytime they need to come in, if they want to physically enjoy the student environment that we have at Blount Hall or the Blount campus, they can. So that is a part of that number. But to be honest with you, I fully expect for us to grow. I want us to grow. I want more buildings within our campus to go up. I want the expansion. We need that. And so it is so exciting to be able to have that opportunity. But 1,800 students, we have currently already enrolled. We have a significant amount of business program students, and that total is combined with the students that are already existing in ITE programs and what's already on the Blount campus. So we have the capacity right now, and we have the capacity to grow.
My question is real simple. First of all, I think that the building is absolutely phenomenal, and I appreciate that it is here. And my question is basically, are there opportunities for volunteers? You've got a population here of semi-retired and retired who might like to play in that building. Thank you.
Absolutely. Santa Fe, there at our institution or our college, you have to remember we have all groups of people in all walks of life at Santa Fe College. And so to have volunteers with expertise, especially within the business programs, to be able to help mentor students, we would definitely welcome it. And so just let me know and I will get you to work.
Hi, my question is for Mike. And did you encounter supply chain disruptions during the project? And did economic conditions impact the projected cost of the project?
Boy, where did the time go? Yes, we did. A couple of items more severely than others. There's some very specialty light fixtures in that project that took quite a long time to get. Some of the wooden 8-foot doors were late in arriving, and that was a challenge. And the biggest hurdle faced was in the audio-visual components for the project. We're still waiting on some of those. And the supplier of those items has just stopped giving us updates. It's like, you'll get them when you get them, but we're confident they'll be here in time for school this fall. But that's been a significant challenge. Yes.
We have 2 more questions. Ed, I'll grab you in just a second. Jacob, you get a 1-part question today.
Oh, no. Well, thank you for a great presentation. Years ago, I took 2 of your staff to South Sudan. It was a great experience, and unfortunately, it wasn't great. We got caught in the conflict, but we made it survive to come back to the U.S. So my question is, you said you want to grow, and I assume locally here, I went to UF, and you have wonderful programs such as nursing, and I have seen my colleague, I don't want to start the war, who's the best nurses around here, but they work hand in hand between UF and them. So with this, are you planning the same thing that some of the students would transfer to UF? And also, if you're going to grow with the technology now, do you have opportunity to grow internationally with international students, whether it's nurses or business?
Definitely. We definitely have, again, that vision of growth. As it relates to international growth, we already have a strong international program at Santa Fe College. And I missed it, the first part of your question. Yes, yes. So as you know, as I had up on the screen, we also have our AA transfer track for business programs. So students still have the option of being able to transfer to the University of Florida or any other state institution. UF is our main transfer track area. And so that is always in our plan, but we also offer bachelor's degrees at Santa Fe. And so one of the things that now that you mention it, our students had the opportunity yesterday, some of our students had the opportunity to tour the building. And I have had many tours with many groups of people by now. And I will tell you that the student tour was my favorite. The excitement and the enthusiasm for that space, to hear them say, this really feels like I'm in college. To enjoy the view and the windows and the openness of the space, to hear them say, well, I got into UF, but I wouldn't mind continuing some classes here at the Blount Center. And so that is what we want. And I know that that's what's going to happen. So yes, the transfer is still that is still an option. It always will be, because that's what we do. But we also have our own bachelor's programs that are full, and we will definitely continue to promote those as well.
Final question.
Ed Ellett, just a compliment question to what Mike has already covered a minute ago. But Mike, in your team of people doing the construction, did you field a number of students coming from the Santa Fe construction programs? That ring any bells? Or
yes, Ed, and I'm flattered that you took a day off of fishing to come hear me present. We always have Santa Fe students and UF students interning with us, and we've hired plenty of both. And so we did have some interns on the Blount project that really benefited from the experience.
Wow. Well, Mike, as a fellow Rotarian, and Mabel, as my fellow Gainesville High School alum, Hurricane, thank you guys for a wonderful presentation. It's clear that the Santa Fe College Charles L. Blount Hall Center, or campus, as Eric coined, it's a big area. I think campus is fine, but it's going to be, it's an impressive building, Mike, and it will no doubt have a wonderful impact to the Gainesville community, to Santa Fe College, and specifically just the revitalization of downtown under your leadership, Mabel. And listening to you talk, each of you are so genuine, and it's wonderful to thank you all for your talk today, and to kind of commemorate it, we have our Rotary coin. On the front, it has our Rotary motto, which is service above self. Mike, well aware of that. And on the back, it has our four-way test. Mabel, the four-way test is something, it's an RI thing, Rotary International. It's something that we as Rotarians try to adhere to. It's something that guides us in our interactions, both professionally and personally. And the four-way test is something we run by everything we think, say, or do. We ask, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So thank you all. Thank each of you very much for your time and a wonderful presentation. Okay, and now I have our drawing for the 50-50 Rotary Reading Safari. The last three digits are 955. Thank you everyone for being here today. Have a great week. See you next week.